Alright, so here on another installment of Oh No Bubba You Didn't, this gun came in for undergassing. It's not always cycling, or it cycles and it doesn't always grab another round. This is an unknown manufacturer that was in it with a lot of tool marks. Took it to the range to test fire it before working on it. This is one of my known good bolt carrier groups, and it did cycle with that. It did not lock the bolt back, but it did at least cycle. So it is definitely undergassed. It's a lot of made in China, and look at the fit on that. That's pretty bad. We'll take some measurements on that and see how bad it is. It's an Anderson lower, so lower's probably fine within spec. But so we inspected our gas port here, and she's a little undersized. And the spec is 93 thousandths to 98 thousandths. And this is a precision ground gauge pin, and this is 90, and it fits. But if you come up, you'll notice there's a lot of wobble in there. What's interesting is 94 will go in the hole, but it doesn't go all the way through. When Bubba in China was drilling this, they drilled with an appropriately sized drill, but they didn't go all the way through. They went enough that the tip of the drill bit pierced the hole, so it's almost tapered. It's straight and then tapered at the end, so it has a choke point in there. So we're gonna go ahead and open that up and see if she'll cycle. But just for fun, I wonder how off these are. These are not my Mitutoyos, but they're close enough to give us an idea. That's interesting. That's measuring 500 thou, which is what it should. And yes, the customer brought this in with no buffer retainer installed. $509? That's only 10 thou. $504. $497. Let's try getting a better measurement on this one. $499. So it's only a 10 thou gap, but I wonder how big these holes are. This is a 250 pin. It's pretty big. The rear should have play in it, which it does. Up and down has got a bit. But yeah, that's just for fun. We'll throw an AccuWedge in it for the customer, but we'll drill this gas port out and we'll run it again. Also extremely high quality muzzle brake. Have to throw a ring gauge on these threads and see if it's the threads or the brake that's so bad, but that's a lot of play. So when you buy something made in China, you do get a great deal on the price, but you really need to inspect this stuff before you shoot it, because otherwise you're going to get really frustrated. So let's machine it and see what it does. Alright, so we drilled a 98 thousandths of an inch hole from our original 90 thousandths hole. 98 is the max size for a 20-inch 5.56 with a rifle length gas tube. One thing you can do to make sure you don't drill too far and end up drilling into the rifling, little tip here, grab an old cleaning rod. I'm sure everybody's got old brass cleaning rods around. We've used them countless times for getting jags stuck out of a barrel, things like that. But just go till it kisses the brass and then check it to make sure that it went all the way through. So I grabbed a gauge pin, put it through, and the the so I grabbed the gauge pin, and the cleaning rod passed right by it. So that meant I didn't drill all the way through. That meant I needed to drill it a little bit more. And I went ahead and drilled it a little bit deeper and kissed the brass a little more, and you can see the difference between just barely touching it and digging into it. And when I drilled that one, and I put the gauge pin, it went all the way, and then it hit right against the rod. So I knew we went all the way. So we put her all back together, and let's take her to the range, and then we can worry about fixing that slop. Tried 2 rounds each mag, see if she cycles and locks back. She's working.
Oh, there it is. Could be just...
Could have been that mag.
Yeah.
Oh, she locked back on a not empty mag. That's odd. Could be the mag.
That was good.
I'd say it functions.
You want to go one more round, or?
Yeah, we could do 5 more mags. You know, that one mag that messed up, this is a steel mag. That could be the one that's messed up. I'll do that one first.
Yeah. Or last.
Or was it the Lancer? Yeah, I'll do the Lancer and then the steel one last. These are Colts. Alright. Another Colt. Mag pull. Lancer. Steel mag.
Yep, steel mag.
It's the steel mag.
Yep, it doesn't stay well.
Yep, she functions. Perfect. Good ejection, good pattern. So we took her out. It shot fine, no issues. Is Chinese stuff really, really bad? Just expect if you buy something made in China, whether it's barrels, handguards, upper receivers, you're going to have fitment issues, you're going to have cycling issues. You might get lucky and everything will work perfect. This isn't a gun I would trust my life on, but if you're building a plinker, and these sights are backwards, I did not put these on. These are installed by the customer. I'm not going to touch them because maybe he wants them that way for some reason. But I'm not saying Chinese parts are garbage and that, you're a poor if you use them. It's just know what you're getting into. If you're buying, a $50 barrel and a $20 handguard, and who knows how cheap of a made in China bolt carrier group, expect to have some issues. And if you don't want to have those issues, expect to spend a little bit more money, and then you're guaranteed you're going to get quality stuff. Also, we threw an AccuWedge in here, so this now fits nice. It has the tiniest bit of movement, but it doesn't rattle, doesn't wobble. It's nice and snug, and that's a cheap, easy fix. They work great if you. All you got to do, for anyone who doesn't know what an AccuWedge is, it's literally a little rubber piece. Take a razor blade and you cut it to fit in the back, and it squishes between the rear lug and the receiver, so it takes up that slack. There's other ways you can fix it too. You can use shim stock and custom cut a shim to fit in here. I've even done one once where we actually drilled out the front hole in the pivot pin in the receiver, the front pivot pin hole, and went slightly oversized and put a solid aluminum plug in there that was wider, so it filled the gap. and to within less than a thousandth of an inch, and then located the hole and drilled and reamed it, and that thing was smooth as butter and nothing moved. But that's a lot of work to do for something that literally for $1 part and 30 seconds with a razor blade you can fix it up a lot.